faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. That was a disappointing loss. I would say I wasn't surprised by the loss based on Jimmy G's play, the offensive line play, the inability to score, especially in the first quarter, the second quarter when the defense was playing lights out. It seemed honestly like a typical Kyle Shanahan 49er game. The 49ers defense plays lights out in the first half. The 49ers, they might get 2 field goals, they might score 1 touchdown, but they leave a lot of opportunities on the field to score. We easily could have been up in that game 21-0 in the first half. Easy. But the Niners, we just don't take advantage of opportunities like that. Jimmy G had one great drive, and that was pretty much it. And that's what we expect from Jimmy G, or at least that's what I expect. I wasn't surprised by Jimmy G's performance. I think we've seen in the last 4 years he's solid, but he's just not good enough. When Russell Wilson, he looked terrible pretty much the entire game, but he had that one great drive, and it was at the end of the fourth quarter. It put the Broncos up in the game, and hey, Russell Wilson willed his team to win. Russell Wilson continues to be kryptonite for the 49ers, and that was the game. Jimmy G he ran out he didn't run, but he stepped out the back of the end zone, which caused a safety. He threw an interception. He had a fumbled snap. So, the guy who touches the ball on every down can't lead the team in turnovers. He can't have 3 turnovers, and that's exactly what Jimmy G did. And you're not going to win games like that. The Broncos had no turnovers. The Niners had 3. It just wasn't an acceptable performance, especially national TV. The whole world is watching. What a piss poor, sloppy, despicable performance by the 49ers. I guess we can only go up from here, right? You can only go up from here. And it's a shame. What a shame it is. The defense played great. I think 4 different players had sacks on this defensive line. We learned about an hour and a half before the start of the show that Eric Armstead would be out. I thought the other guy stepped in well. Hassan Ridgeway was in there. Kerry Hyder was in there. Akeem Spence I saw in there as well. Maybe you can help me, faithful. And huge shout out if you're watching Jay in the Bay Facebook, Jay in the Bay YouTube, or Jay in the Bay Twitter. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification. But where is Danny Gray? Where is our 3rd round receiver who's supposed to stretch the field with his 4.2, 4.3 speed? Can anyone answer that for me? Where the hell is Danny Gray? He's supposed to be a weapon on this offense, and Kyle Shanahan refuses to use him. Unless Danny Gray is hurt, and we don't know, unless Danny Gray was inactive for this game. I did not know that. But to my knowledge, he is active and he is healthy. I don't know why the hell they aren't using him. It's a shame. It's a shame that Danny Gray's not on the field, because he could definitely be helping this offense. Deebo Samuel, the runs aren't working anymore. No one's surprised anymore. Deebo Samuel, the runs just aren't working. Denver Broncos, I got to give credit to them, as I did earlier when I first went on. Credit to Russell Wilson. Credit to the Denver Broncos defense. They played pretty well. They basically gave up 1 touchdown drive, and other than that, they were able to get after the quarterback. They slowed down the run. Jeff Wilson Jr. had a great run. I think it was like 37 yards. But beside that run, if you take that run away, he basically had 11 carries for about, I believe it was about 33 yards or 38 yards or something like that. So he only averaged about 3 yards a carry. But credit to the Broncos. Broncos defense played pretty well. They stopped the running game. They made Jimmy uncomfortable. Jimmy was tap dancing in the pocket, and that's never a good thing for Jimmy. There were 2 injuries in this game. Trent Williams, and it could be a high ankle sprain. So I thought it was worse. I thought it was a tear or something that he could be out for multiple or for the rest of the season. With the high ankle sprain, he'll probably be out for multiple weeks. But I guess at least it's not season-ending injury. Aziz, our linebacker, also was hurt in this game. He had a knee injury. I don't think he came back in. I saw Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles come in for him. Surprised we didn't see Orrin Burks, fill in for Aziz. But appreciate everyone who's in the chat right now. This is a call-in show. I'll go ahead and drop that link probably at the maybe at the 8-minute mark. And if you like, feel free to call in. And let me create a banner real quick for that. But I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on the game. Obviously, it's not one player's fault. It's never one player's fault, but it just sucks that this defense is so good that the offense is just it's not effective. We couldn't really do anything outside of one drive. Jimmy was throwing all over the place, and even y'all know me, man. I'm one of the biggest Jimmy G fans out there, But I was definitely on board with moving to Trey Lance, and unfortunately, we won't see that this year. But even when Jimmy makes a throw, like one, I think he threw to the left side of the field, and Deebo Samuel caught it. In a perfect scenario, you throw the ball to the receiver, and it goes over the receiver's shoulders. That way, all the receiver has to do is catch it and then run to the house, right? When Jimmy throws the ball, sometimes, especially when Deebo Samuel caught that ball, he had to turn around, wait for it, jump up for it, and then he gets tackled. So even if Jimmy completes the throw, it's just not good enough. Hopefully Jimmy gets better. Maybe as he continues to practice, hey, he's recovering from the shoulder surgery in the offseason. Maybe Jimmy will get better. I hope so. Maybe this is Jimmy's worst game that he's going to have this year. I mean, the Broncos are a pretty good defense, and I was saying this in my pregame show that the Broncos defense, their front four is formidable. Randy Gregory, who was all over the field today, making Mike Mcclinchey look foolish. Bradley Chubb was on the field today. After Trent Williams got hurt, there was Jalen Moore came in. He didn't last too long. Colton McKivitz came in after that. But the offensive line just wasn't good. I thought the interior of the offensive line wasn't bad. It seemed like the pressure was coming from the end positions. And I know Burford had a few penalties, but outside of that, I thought the interior played solid. There wasn't that much interior rush. It was more Mcclinchey's side. And after Trent Williams got out, it was his side. So, but you got Bradley Chubb, you got Randy Gregory. Those are elite pass rushers. And, they had a hell of a game, and they made Jimmy's job really difficult. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat. Feel free to call up and express your thoughts about this piss-poor performance by our 49ers. Oh, also special teams. The special teams unit I thought was fantastic. Mitch punted a few balls, and they landed in the 10-yard line, and we gave the Broncos really difficult field position. So I thought special teams was excellent. The defense was excellent, but this offense, it just wasn't good enough. It's not going to cut it, faithful. We can't score 10 points and expect to win the game and commit 3 turnovers. So I will be reading comments throughout this stream, but we have a caller on the line, and we have Jay in the building. What's good? What'd you think about the performance tonight, Jay?
Oh man, I am not happy. It was horrible. Jimmy was bad. Um, the offense absolutely stunk, and Kyle continues to be bad with his play calling. Like he always makes questionable decisions. It's ridiculous. The defense carried us the entire game, almost, and Jimmy did not come through in the clutch, and that was just terrible. If Jimmy doesn't play well next week, I don't know what to say. We're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Should the 49ers go to Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, Jay?
Not yet. I don't think so, no.
Okay.
But Jimmy he should have played better, but he didn't. He looked absolutely pathetic.
Yeah, there's no question. Jimmy looked flustered in the pocket. This pass rush really got after Jimmy. And the offensive line, I think, is going to continue to be like a roller coaster. I thought the interior of the offensive line was solid, but Mcclinchey and Jalen Moore, it was like a turnstile. Gregory and Chubb, they lived up to their billing. They are a great pass rushing tandem, and they proved that tonight. Who stood out to you? Who stood out to you in a positive way tonight?
I think Brandon Ayuk played very well. He had a touchdown and a few good catches. Jawan Jennings came up clutch on third down. Deebo Samuel had a few good plays on the receiving end, but I was really confused when we kept running the ball with Deebo every single time. That was confusing. My negatives are Jimmy. He was garbage today. The offense stunk. And Mike Mcclinchey, he can't pass block. He can only run block, but he can't pass block. And that's a concern. So he needs to step it up.
I completely agree. McGlinchey, I think obviously his strong suit is run blocking, but in the past game, he leaves a little bit to be desired. He's not an elite pass blocker at that right tackle spot. I think it's weird. It's like if the offense has 40 offensive snaps a game, he'll be solid for about 36, but then there'll be one of those plays where they'll call a holding penalty on him, or there'll be a play where he gives up a sack. So he's just not good enough. He is in the last year of his contract, but this is only week 3. You just got to hope he'll have better performances.
Yeah.
At this point.
I think it's a must-win game against the Rams because you cannot start out 1-3. You just can't. And if you start out 1-3, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree, and I think that Rams game, I think that's a Monday night game, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Monday Night Football.
Yeah. And I want to say one last thing before I leave.
Sure.
If Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't have a good game, I'm gonna rage so hard. I'm gonna be so mad. Like he better step it up, because Jimmy has done this a lot. He's done this a lot. And one thing about the Yorks, they've destroyed this organization. The Yorks have been not good. That's why we're struggling. The Yorks continuing to just go out their way and make excuses. It's not the Eddie DeBarlo days anymore. The Yorks are just terrible.
Those days are long gone.
They're a terrible ownership group, and we haven't won a Super Bowl under them.
Yeah.
The Yorks have been terrible.
Hey, well, I appreciate the call, Jay. Man,
yeah.
Welcome to call anytime, man. You have a good night.
See ya.
All right, see ya. All right, that was Jay giving us his thoughts about the San Francisco 49ers performance today in Mile High against them good old Denver Broncos. And I told my wife, I said, hey, if we win this game, we'll be lucky. And I told her that in the first quarter, because It was quite evident the 49ers did not take advantage of early opportunities. I feel like we do this literally every game. Every game, the defense plays lights out in the first half. We could hold our opponent to 3 points, maybe even to 7 points. And then the offense just, hey, we'll kick a field goal here or there. We may score one touchdown. And it's a one possession game at halftime when it really should be a 3 possession game at halftime. We just leave opportunities on the field and it's coming back to bite us. It's amazing we even had an opportunity to win this game, on the last possession in the fourth quarter. But we have to play much better. You just got to hope that we'll get it together. We will play better. We have Bang Bang Niner Gang in the building. What's good? Appreciate you coming through to the stream. Bang Bang Niner Gang. He says, Jimmy reminding you who he is. Yeah, I would have to agree with that, man. I would definitely have to agree with that. This is who Jimmy is. I think he'll have a few good drives in him, but he's going to tell you who he is, and he's just not that guy. But he's got to be the guy, right? I mean, Trey Lance is hurt. We're not going to go to Mr. Irrelevant, so Jimmy's got to get better. I think we overestimated this team based off of last week's performance against the Seahawks. We blew out the Seahawks. The Seahawks are terrible. And we also underestimated Denver. Now, Denver didn't prove to be a great team tonight, but they proved that this defense is legit. They're able to get after the quarterback. The secondary held up on their end, and Denver proved that, hey, they can win these low-scoring games like this. And when you have a guy like Russell Wilson in there, he can make plays when he's called on to. We have Eric in the building. What's good? Appreciate you tuning into the stream tonight, Eric. Feel free to let me know your thoughts on this terrible loss to the Denver Broncos. This is a call-in show. The StreamYard link is in the chat. Feel free to click on the link. You can be audio only, or you can be on video. It's up to you. Let's see. Bang Bang says he was on the sideline. Are you talking about the Jimmy G play where he ran out the back of the end zone? Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, that was definitely a terrible play. That's for sure. Let's see. We have John in the building. What's good? John says, if it was one player's fault, though, it'd be Jimmy. Yeah, it was just a terrible game. He did not look comfortable in the pocket. Credit to the Denver Broncos, their defensive line. But, yeah, Jimmy did not look comfortable in the pocket at all. After Trent Williams got out, the protection was much worse. I thought McKivitz played solid. I think, though, he gave up 1 sack in the fourth quarter. But, hey, he was better than Jalen Moore. That's for sure. But, yeah, Jimmy running out the back of the end zone. Well, he didn't run. He stepped out the back of the end zone. Threw the late interception, had the fumble snap. And I don't know whose fault is that. I mean, the center spikes the ball, or I should say he hikes the ball. And I don't know if that was just on the center's fault. That was Jimmy. He fumbled the ball. But at the end of the day, it's still a turnover. So, Bay Area throwbacks. What's good? I agree, man. It was honestly throughout the game, it was boring to watch. I'm not even going to lie. Like, the 49ers offense just could not move the ball. The defense was playing its heart out. The defense was able to control their side of the game. Special teams, Mitch Wishnowsky was great tonight. The punt coverage was great tonight, but the offense couldn't do anything. Couldn't do a thing. Very, very unfortunate. We got Where You Hiding in the building. I know Where You Hiding is real happy right now. I know he's riding high. Where You Hiding, because his Philadelphia Eagles is 3-0. I know you are excited about your Eagles, man. I know it's still early, but yeah, I mean, if I was an Eagles fan, I'd be excited about the Eagles too, man. Jalen Hurts looks good. I wish we played the Eagles in the regular season. That'd be a great test. Maybe we'll meet in the playoffs, man. Maybe we'll see. But I know you are really happy. Where you hiding says, "OMG, Anakin Skywalker is talking." Sup, man? I guess you're talking about Jay. Okay. We got JC49 Fish, Niner for Life in the building. What's good? Appreciate you coming into the stream tonight. And I appreciate your sentiments, man. Feel free to hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe to Jay and the Bay, hit that bell notification, and continue to let me know about your thoughts in them comments. Or you could call in. It's all good. We also got Andre in the building. What's good? You tell me, Andre, what the heck is going on? I don't know what's going on tonight. I think Denver defense played great tonight. They made Jimmy uncomfortable in the pocket, and that's how you disrupt a quarterback's timing, is making them feel uneasy in the pocket. And the Broncos accomplished that tonight. And Jimmy's just going to have to get better. Kyle's going to have to get better. Yeah, that's what they're going to have to do, man. Andre says, Jimmy, man. Kyle didn't run the dang ball. Why he let them kick a field goal instead of taking the penalty? Yeah, I remember that play. So I think that was the end of the second quarter, right before halftime. And I think it was a holding play on Denver. And if Shanahan would have accepted the penalty, I think it would have been probably like a 3rd and 16 or 3rd and 18 or something like that, which would have moved them back 10 yards. Or Shanahan, as he did, he declined the penalty, and then it was a 4th down and I don't know, whatever, 4th down and 6 or 5 or whatever. And then the Broncos had an opportunity to kick the field goal. I mean, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you accept that penalty and then the Broncos are able to get a 1st down, everyone would have been like, well, what are you doing? You should have declined the penalty. It would have been the 4th down, and you accept that the Broncos get 3 points. So I think I would agree with that call. You don't want to give Russell Wilson another opportunity. Granted, the 49ers defense had been doing a good job in stopping Russ. So the odds of him getting or converting a 3rd and 18 may have been less likely. But I don't think that really, lost the game for us. It's funny, if the Broncos didn't get that safety, if Jimmy didn't forget where he was on the field, we would have won the game 10-9. And I still would have said we're still lucky as hell to win that game, but it didn't come to fruition. So, it all comes down to a few plays in a game, that's for sure. And Andre feels that was one of those plays. I respect your opinion. Andre says, Jimmy out there smiling and talking to the Broncos. He playing with house money, man. That's dangerous now. Was this after the game? Because I didn't see any player interaction after the game, but this is Jimmy's audition. Jimmy wants to get a brand new contract with the brand new team next year. He's got to put on, great film for whichever team that's interested in him next season. I think he might lead this game out. I don't think he's going to put this game in the film because it was one of his worst performances. You got to think that Jimmy's going to play better, but this is, when Trey got hurt, this is what I thought. Okay, this is going to be a roller coaster type season. I think Jimmy's going to play well some games. He's going to play bad some games. And I think this was like a rock bottom performance for Jimmy. Yeah, he made some good throws. He made some good throws to Ayuk. He made some solid throws to Debo. He made a good throw to Juice on the sideline, but he's just not good enough. Faithful, it ain't good enough. Tell me I'm wrong. Please let me know if I'm wrong, if Jimmy is good enough. Because going 18 of 29 for 211 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, to me, that's just not good enough. Now, maybe if you didn't have the turnovers, probably would have won the game. If Jimmy didn't throw the interception, if Jimmy didn't step out the back of the end zone, if Jimmy didn't fumble, probably win the game. Probably will win the game. Eric, what's good? Eric says, yeah, Seattle was pretty bad out here, Sally. Yeah, they are. They definitely are. Andre says, are we really going to have Mr. Irrelevant come in? Why not? If we lose to Lambs, then anything is possible. Purdy might be next. Brady. I think that's a stretch. Crazy, right? But so was thinking we would play like this. Yeah, I think Jimmy's the starter the rest of the way. This team was, I think, 3-4, 3-5 last year. So, I don't think they'll give up on Jimmy anytime soon. But you just got to think we got to play better. And we've beaten the Rams the last 6 out of 7 times. The Rams are a beatable team. So, I think anything's possible next Monday night, another prime time game. Definitely looking forward to it. But Jimmy's stat line is not going to get it done. Jeff Wilson Jr., he had 12 carries, 75 yards rushing. His longest run of the night was 37 yards. I believe that was on the first drive of the game as well. But when you take out that 35 or that 37-yard run and you just judge him on his 11 carries, and so basically he had 11 carries for 38 yards. When you take out that longest run, that's basically only about 3 yards per carry. So Broncos did a good job in slowing down the run. We saw a Jordan Mason sighting, faithful. Now, my pregame show, people were telling me, "Oh, well, you gotta put Jordan Mason in the game." I mean, we've kind of been hearing this all off season. Jordan Mason, the UDFA. He's been playing special teams pretty much every game, and he actually got in the game, and I thought he had 2 carries. But it looks like, at least according to ESPN, maybe there was a penalty on one of the carries, but according to ESPN, he had 1 carry for 7 yards. So, hey, that was pretty good. He needs more touches, right? Deebo Samuel, the run game just didn't work tonight, faithful. 5 carries for 6 yards. It's not going to get it done. I just think teams aren't surprised when it comes to Deebo running the ball anymore. They're just not surprised by it. Maybe this is a 1-week thing, and the Broncos defense is just really legit, which they are if you look according to their stats, really legit. But the Deebo runs, they just don't surprise the defense anymore. And he's taken a lot of hits. He actually left the game and came back in. But, his running stats weren't, they just didn't do anything for me. Now, receiving, Deebo Samuel did lead the 49ers in receiving, 5 catches, 73 yards. He had the longest pass was 32 yards. He was targeted 8 times. The Ayuk show. Brandon Ayuk had 3 catches, 39 yards, the only touchdown of the game for the 49ers. He was also targeted 8 times. Kittle was targeted 5 times, but he had 4 catches for 28 yards. Juice had that 24-yard catch on the sideline, which was good. But it's just not good enough, faithful. Just not good enough. We have this guy in the building. What's good? This guy says safety and interception. I guess lucky it was a safety, but come on. Yeah. Jimmy was flustered. Jimmy was tap dancing all over that gridiron. And when he's pressured, this is the Jimmy Garoppolo we get. We were not able to create a pocket for him to throw from, a clean pocket. I thought in the interior offensive linemen, they did solid. I know Burford had a few penalties, but outside of that, they were pretty solid tonight. The tackles really let this offense down, and you gotta tip your hat to Chubb and Gregory. They really brought their A game tonight, and they proved they're one of the better edge rushing tandems in the NFL. So, but you're right though. If he didn't get that safety, he would have thrown an interception. So you're absolutely right about that. Eric says, I was hopeful that you all could beat beat the stuffing out of Russell. Unfortunately, that didn't come to fruition. But there's definitely something wrong with Russell, whatever it is. The Broncos, they have a brand new coaching staff. Russell Wilson is obviously brand new to the offense. He's with a whole different team. It's going to take time for them to gel. You could just tell that Russell Wilson and his receivers were not on the same page, especially on those option routes where if it's an option route, right? So if Russell Wilson and the receiver see man coverage, you're supposed to run this route. If Russell Wilson and the receiver see zone coverage, you're supposed to run that route. And they just weren't on the same page. Maybe the receiver thought it was man coverage. Maybe Russell thought it was zone. So, Russell Wilson and his offense, I'm glad we played them now and compared to November, December when they're able to gel a lot more. And also Denver, their receivers were dropping balls too. So, but I'm sure they'll get it cleaned up, Denver. I'm sure they will. Matt Navarro, what's good? Quote of the night. Feels great, baby. Yeah. Well, I mean that is the Jimmy G experience, unfortunately. Andre says, you're right, Jay. You always have good insight, but I've been waiting to celebrate another Super Bowl. Seen all 5, and I want another one. Man, it seems like we've been waiting a long time. I was 8 years old the last time the 49ers won the Super Bowl. So it's been a long time. Been there twice since then, but haven't been able to hoist that trophy. We got Channel 49 in the building. What's good? Appreciate you coming into the stream tonight, Channel 49. He says, Jimmy Garbage is back, baby. Where are all the fans that wanted Jimmy G over Trey Lance? I wonder what's their excuse tonight. It could be, hey, Jimmy had a bad game. He'll pick it up against the Rams. I mean, we do have the Rams number. I mean, we've won 6 out of the last 7 games. If Jaquiski Tartt would have, caught that punt that Matt Stafford threw, hey, we could have been in the Super Bowl last year, right, Faithful? And speaking of Rams fans, we got the Romelia Sports Report in the building. What's good? I can't wait till next Monday night, prime time against them good old LA Rams. The LA Rams are beatable. But if we lose to the Rams, man, it's going to be 1-3. Yeah, that doesn't sound too good. But hey, I'm looking forward to going up against the Rams. It's a divisional game. Tonight felt like a divisional game to me because Russell Wilson was there. But next week is definitely going to be on and popping. John says Samuel Womack played good situational football on special teams in leaping over goal line and hitting the football back to the 1-yard line. Absolutely. And that was one of the bright spots on this game tonight was Mitch Wishnowsky. He just got a contract extension with the 49ers. He was able to punt those balls, in the 10-yard line or less. And great job by the special teams punt coverage to get down there and put the Broncos in difficult field position. Those plays really matter, and it definitely helps the defense. And no doubt it was a heady play by Samuel Womack. But speaking of Samuel Womack, I was surprised. Usually he is our nickel corner when there's a 3 wide receiver set. And you got your 3 cornerbacks, including Womack. You got your 2 linebackers, and then you got your 4 defensive linemen and 2 safeties, right? And I was surprised to see Demo Lenore in at the nickel corner. I thought he played solid. He wasn't great, but that's interesting that Womack essentially got benched for Demo Lenore. So, hey, that was something that was unexpected for me. And where can anyone tell me where is Danny Gray? Why does he not touch the field? I didn't see him out there at all. Maybe I'm tripping. Did anyone else see Danny Gray out there tonight? I don't know why we're not using. You're telling me an offensive genius like Kyle Shanahan can't get this guy the ball? Like that just doesn't. It don't make sense to me. Danny Gray, where are you, man? Are you inactive? Did I not see this on the latest 49ers news? I don't know what's going on, but Danny Gray, where are you? Maybe he in the doghouse? I think on my pregame show today, someone did ask me if Danny Gray is in the doghouse, and I don't think so. But where the hell is he? I don't get it. Kyle Shanahan should be able to scheme this guy open. We should be able to get this guy the ball. He is a offensive threat when he has the ball in his hands, and he's got speed. Speed kills. I just don't get it. But that is an astute observation by you, John. Let's see. Tommy Huxley. What's good? Appreciate you coming into the stream, Tommy Huxley. He says Trent Williams has a high ankle sprain. We are screwed. Now, you did say that the Niners were going to lose today. So I think it's your fault, Tommy. I think you jinxed us. That's for sure. It's your fault, Tommy. You did say we were going to lose. Yeah, I mean, when I saw the Trent Williams injury go down, I thought I was thinking the worst of the worst. I thought it was something torn. He'd be out for the rest of the season. But high ankle sprain, that could be anywhere from 2 to 4 to 6 weeks. I think didn't he have an ankle sprain last year too? I mean, I think it was a fluky play. Unfortunately, he got rolled up on, and that happens to offensive linemen all the time where they get rolled up on. So it's very unfortunate. But, Jalen Moore got in a few series, and he was out, and Colton McKivitz was there. So it'll be interesting to see who the 49ers go with at left tackle for, until Trent Williams can come back, man. What? Tank the season? It's only been 3 games, Tommy. What are you talking about? It's only been 3 games, Tommy. We got Seahawks Eddie in the building. What's good? Appreciate you coming into the stream, Seahawks Eddie. It's not all good for the Niner Empire, but of course we're going to remain faithful. But yeah, that was a terrible performance by the offense tonight. Or I should say specifically Jimmy G and the offensive line, especially the tackles. I thought the interior of the offensive line played solid, but the tackles definitely left a little bit to be desired. That's for sure. This is a call-in show. Feel free to call in if you like, or you can continue leaving your comments in the comment section. I appreciate everyone that's tuning in tonight. Feel free to hit that thumbs up button, and if you haven't, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification. Now, there was another injury tonight, and that was Azeez Al-Shire. I believe he got hurt. Let's see, I think I wrote it down. Azeez got hurt, I think in the second quarter, maybe. Azeez Al-Shire, he got hurt in the second quarter. Unfortunately, I don't think he returned. I saw Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles take his spot. Didn't see much of a drop-off. But, hopefully the Azeez knee injury won't be serious, and he'll be back versus the Rams. We got Solo T.Y. What's good? Appreciate you coming into the stream tonight, Solo. He says defense played so well today, and the offense so. Yeah, it's just unfortunate that, I mean, if you're a defensive player, how can you look in Jimmy G's eye and not be just furious with his performance? The defense only gives up. Basically, the defense gave up 9 points. That's it. The defense gives up 9 points, and the 49ers can't win this game. That's crazy to me. And we're going to need a much better performance versus them good old L.A. Rams. That's for sure. Ouch. MCL sprain for Azeez, so that means he's going to be out for multiple weeks. Yeah, if you look at the replay on that play, it didn't look good. Like he bent back and his knee got caught, or his foot got caught. Yeah, it didn't look good. So Azeez is probably going to, if it's a sprain, he'll probably be out the next 4 to 6 weeks. Kind of like, I think that's the same injury that Tyler Kroft had, our tight end. So that means Azeez is going to be out multiple weeks. Trent Williams is going to be out multiple weeks. So, it's the next man up mentality. Either Demetrius Flannigan-Fowles or Oren Burks are going to have to step up I'm more concerned about that left tackle spot, though, whether it be Jalen Moore or Colton McKivitz. Whew, man, yeah. It's going to be a very interesting season. Very, very interesting season, that's for sure. Um, Jeff Wilson Jr. Talked about him a little bit. I thought he played well, had a long run on the first drive. Can we get a Danny Gray sighting? Danny Gray, where are you? I don't see you. Need to ask Shanahan, what are you doing with Danny Gray? What's going on here? Talked about Mitch and the special teams unit. I thought they were one of the bright spots out there tonight. And, of course, this 49ers defense, played lights out. Let's talk about this 49ers defense. Shout out to DeMeco Ryans, future head coach. It's going to be sad to see you go next year. And, Dre Greenlaw led this team in total tackles with 10. Emmanuel Mosley was all over the field. He was second in tackles, our corner, Emmanuel Mosley. We also had 4 different players that got sacks. Kevin Givens, Nick Bosa, Kerry Hyder Jr., Drake Jackson. I didn't see much of a drop-off without Eric Armstead. I didn't see much of a drop-off. Javon Kinlaw, he had 1 tackle. I'm not seeing a lot from Kinlaw. He is taking on a lot of double teams. I'm sure he's one of the reasons why our run defense is so well, but he's just not a guy who's going to get sacks. That's just not who he is. As long as he takes on double teams and is stout in the run game, I think he'll be solid for us. Now, will he warrant an extension on after his rookie contract? I doubt it. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Ray McLeod, one of his punt returns had a long of 18 yards. He almost fumbled a punt toward the end of the game, but he didn't. Robbie Gould, he was 1 for 1 on his field goals, hit a field goal 51 yards long. Mitch Wishnowsky, I mentioned him before, three punts. Mitch Wishnowsky had 3 punts out of 7 in the 20-yard line. That's pretty good. And the Denver Broncos punter did a good job as well. He had 10 punts, and 6 of those punts went into the 20-yard line. So you don't hear it get talked about enough, but special teams is a big part, because if they punt the ball and it's in the 20-yard line or fewer, that means we have to go 80, 90, 95 yards just to get into the end zone. So, both punters really did their job tonight. They did an excellent job, both punters. Both punters did an excellent job. Let's see. Appreciate that $2 super chat, Tommy Huxley. Hot diggity dog. He says Jalen Moore is a scrub. Yeah, I don't know why they put him at left tackle. He's probably better suited to be a guard, but you know how the 49ers think. They think we could draft a wide receiver and make him play running back, or we'll draft a defensive end and we'll put him at left guard, or we'll draft a left tackle and put him at center. The 49ers love to do that. Seijin, what's good? I agree, man. It was a weird game to watch, and at times it was boring. I appreciate great defense, but it's so frustrating to see offense, not be able to move the ball. In inept offense, it's just so frustrating to watch. That's for sure. So low. I think the reason why we aren't seeing any of Danny Gray is because he was picked to be used as Lance's deep shot. Since Jimmy can't really throw that, he won't be used. I agree to a certain extent. I think Danny Gray needs to work on his route tree, get better at running precise routes. But we have an offensive genius in Kyle Shanahan. He's got to be able to scheme Danny Gray open. He's got to be able to get a playmaker the ball, the same way he gets Debo the ball, the same way he gets Steve Show the ball. He's got to be able to get Danny Gray the ball. I mean, Shanahan, we praise him as an offensive genius. He's a great play caller, great play designer. Well, scheme Danny Gray open, get him the ball. Let Jimmy G throw the ball deep. what was Jimmy G's deepest pass today? Was it probably the pass to Juice Check? That was probably Jimmy's deepest pass, and that was like 24 yards. I'm trying to remember. I don't think he threw farther than that. That's his. I think that's his longest. At least that's his longest completion. Um, let's see. Yeah, I don't see that stat, but that was his. I believe that's probably his longest completion was the pass to Juice. No other catches really speak. Actually, no. So he had a 32 yarder to Deebo Samuel that he threw. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know. Jimmy threw deep in the Seattle game. Why can't he do it in this game? David McNew, Dr. Disrespect, and Jimmy INT. I can't call in tonight. I would have a problem keeping it YouTube friendly. Nah, I dig it, man. I respect it. Maybe another night. It's all good. G Rod, what's good? Appreciate you tuning in tonight, G Rod. I'm so frustrated with this team. Quarterback issues, weekly injuries, running game is sputtering. Little has done nothing lately. Offense is not scoring. We're already falling apart. I say throw in Purdy. You ready to throw in the towel already, G Rob? You ready to hand over the team to Mr. Irrelevant? You sure about that, G Rod? You sure you want to do that? I mean, it's very frustrating. We just got to think that this team, this offense is going to get better. I mean, if we don't have any turnovers, I think we win this game. Even if it's 10-9, I think we win this game. And obviously, that's not sustainable. That's not good enough. Scoring 10 points it's not going to get it done. But this is who Jimmy is. Hopefully, this is his worst game of the season, and he won't have, a 3 turnover type game. Hopefully. I mean, I thought Jefferson Jr. was solid tonight, but maybe we should continue to give the ball to Jordan Mason. He only had 1 carry. I think that the Deebo runs, it's not working. Deebo's runs, it's just not working, man. The defense is not surprised by that. He's just, at least tonight, he wasn't effective. I'm trying to remember what his runs were against Seattle. I know he didn't run that well against Chicago. Well, actually, no, Seattle, he had the long run, right? I don't know if that was considered a run or a pass, but I think that was like a 50-yard scamper. I don't know if it was a run or a pass, but tonight the Deebo runs didn't work. But he definitely added in the receiving department. Kelts Chronicles, what's good? Appreciate you coming into the stream tonight, Kelts. I know you hotter than fish grease. Kelts Chronicles says, D'Amico trade for 2023. Aren't you forgetting a name there, Kelts Chronicles? I think you might be forgetting someone's name there. Maybe that was just a typo. But hey, D'Amico's gone. D'Amico's not staying here. This defense is playing lights out. D'Amico deserves to have a head coaching position. And I'm happy to see it, just like I'm happy that Robert Saleh, head coach for the New York Jets, and Mike McDaniels, the head coach for the Miami Dolphins. Hey, Shanahan's got a nice coaching tree, that's for sure. But, where do we go from here? What's going to get better? That's the interesting part, man. What's going to change? What's going to get better? We got the LA Rams next week. Whew. At least we know them. We won the 6 out of the last 7. Tommy Huxley, man, I appreciate you for coming on tonight, man. Get your rest, man. Get your rest, Tommy. Appreciate you for coming on tonight. And next week, this offensive line, woof. Like I said before, I thought the interior of the offensive line played solid, but our tackles, man. And next week we got to go up against Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Bobby Wagner, Jalen Ramsey. Woo. They're gonna give us all we can. Seijin, you guys are second in the division. You have the Rams number with a good chance of taking the less competitive teams. Go get it. I like your attitude, Seijin. I like your attitude, man. You are very positive, upbeat, man. I like that. But yeah, it's gonna be very, very interesting, especially after. Oops. It's gonna be very, very. It's gonna be very, very interesting, especially with our injuries to our offensive line, with the big silver back. Trent Williams will be out probably multiple weeks. Aziz is going to be out, but I'm not too concerned because we got depth at that linebacker spot. So I'm not too concerned about the linebackers, but just to do a little schedule watching, it's going to be. I mean, we got some cream puff type opponents coming up. There's definitely some teams that we're better than, but I didn't think we were going to lose to the Chi-Town Bears. We got the Rams next. After that, we travel to North Carolina and play the Carolina Panthers. Then after that, we got them good old ATL Falcons. I mean, if we lose to the Rams, that's a possibility. We should definitely beat Carolina. We should beat ATL. Then we got the Chiefs at the Niners. Whew, that's gonna be a great game. Man, this schedule it's gonna be tough. I know we got the 2 easy games, but you never know because I didn't think we were gonna lose to the Bears. Man, I appreciate everyone for tuning in to the stream tonight. Hopefully everyone has a great rest of your night. Huge shout out if you're watching Jay and the Bay Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Appreciate a lively chat. And I will be on tomorrow night, Monday night, after the Monday Night Football game with Kelch Chronicles, Bay Area Baller, and Amin the Dream. I believe it's going to be on Amin the Dream's YouTube channel tomorrow night. It'll be the 3rd episode of Straight Out of the Bay, and we'll continue to talk about this game tomorrow night and possibly talk about the Monday night game if it's interesting. And it's going to be an interesting conversation we'll have because I don't think anyone thought we would have this type of performance. I knew Jimmy was going to be Jimmy, but I didn't know he would be Jimmy. I didn't know he was going to be this Jimmy with all the turnovers. It was one of his worst games I've ever seen him play. So I guess you can only go up from here, right, Faithful? But hey, if you guys still want to talk about the Niners game and the latest Niner news, I'm sure there's going to be some Niner news that comes out tomorrow. Feel free to check out. I think it's going to be on Amin the Dream's YouTube channel tomorrow night, Monday night, right after the Monday Night Football game. And it'll be the 3rd episode of Straight Out of the Bay. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting Monday night game tomorrow. We got the Cowboys and the Giants. That should be a pretty good game. NFC East divisional game. I'm looking forward to watching that. But hey, the Niners got to get better. There's no doubt. Got to improve. I mean, the defense, I don't know how you can get better. Defense was lights out. Special teams was lights out. This offensive line definitely needs to get better. And we have a great test next week against them good old LA Rams. Seijin is very confident. He says, you guys are good, man. I think this defense and special teams is, but this offense leaves a lot to be desired. At least we know the Rams. We know what they're going to do. They know what we're going to do. So we'll see what comes to fruition. But everyone have a great rest of your night. And I will see you guys. You can definitely tune into my channel. for the latest 49ers news. I'll definitely probably put out a video tomorrow talking about the 49ers injuries. And then we got Straight Out of the Bay, episode 3. And let's see, we got the Rams coming up. So I'm going to try to have a Rams content creator on my channel. Either, I mean, it could be Thursday, it could be Sunday, or possibly Monday. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to try to get an LA Rams content creator on my channel. And yeah, that's what you can expect from the Jay and the Bay YouTube channel. Of course, we're talking all things Niners. And of course, we always stay faithful to the Bay. And everyone have a great rest of your night. Go Niners. We got a lot of work to do. And hopefully we see some improvement versus them LA Rams. See you guys in the next one. Peace.